Okay, hey Brandon, it's Jeff. I'm just gonna do a super quick video about Skyrim. Um, since I know you like magic, the best characters for magic or races are for sure Breton, which has a really high intelligence and willpower, which are the uh, the attributes that are going to govern. Each of them are going to govern three of the like seven total magic skills. So six for seven. Bretons. They both have really high intelligence, which determines your overall magic. For every time you level intelligence, you get two more magic. They also start with a plus 50 magic bonus. And again, the major thing is really good intelligence and willpower, whereas the High Elf gets really good intelligence as well, not quite as good willpower. They do start with a lot better agility and better endurance, so you could argue they're a little bit better for like fighting, like a melee. I still chose Breton, even though I'm also going to do some combat, because they have a higher strength and the higher willpower is going to be good to like do magic to compensate for that. Also, so the biggest thing is that the High Elves get 100 base magic, and the Bretons just get 50, or like a bonus. Everyone starts with 100, and then so Bretons get 150, High Elves get 250. But the difference is that Bretons, which are like the human mages, they're first of all, they get a 50% magic resist, which is huge, whereas the High Elves get a 25% weakness to magic. I mean, not all magic, just Fire, Frost, Shock, but that's like the basic magic anyways. Dark Elves are not a bad choice for like a generalist character. But since I know you like necromancy and stuff, the Bretons are going to be the best for their starting bonus to conjuration. But skill bonuses matter less than, and like even starting attributes are pretty important. Greater powers are pretty huge. Bretons also get a plus 50 thing called Dragon Skin, which is like a shield for a minute a day, which helps buff the fact that they're have like a pretty low endurance, which is going to be like your health. Um, and Yeah, so I would for you probably pick a Breton or a High Elf. Both good choices. Again, Dark Elves make a good all-rounder. Nord, Orc, and Red Guards make good warriors. Wood Elves, Khajiits, and Argonians make good stealth. Argonians also make a pretty okay like stealth mage hybrid, especially if you pick, because nowadays there's two different origins which change your bonuses. Basically, intelligence and willpower matter for mages, strength and endurance matter for warriors, agility and speed matter for stealth. Um, okay, whatever. Now, for the birth sign, Mage is the safe bet for magic-based characters. Obviously, Warrior is a safe bet for warriors, Thief for stealth people. If you choose Breton, the Apprentice is not a bad choice for birth sign because you get an extra 50 bonus magic than the Mage, but you get a weakness to magic 100%. But if you choose Breton and you get the passive 50% resist magic, it drops that to 50, which isn't awful. If you pick High Elf, Atronach is like an okay high risk choice if you pick High Elf basically only because you can't regen magic, which I honestly think would piss me off way too much to ever pick this, but you'd start with a bonus 150, so on top of your baseline 200 as High Elf, you'd get 350 magic, which is already insane, and the 50% chance of absorbing magic would be useful and actually kind of compensate for the 25% weakness to magic. Um, if you're gonna play like a battle magey character, both the lady where willpower and endurance, or warrior aren't a bad idea. Again, thief is like for stealth type characters. But those are really the only ones. The ritual's kind of okay, as like a niche thing. The rest of them kind of suck. Sure. And then for class, the biggest thing is that, yeah, you're definitely going to want to make a custom class, I would say. But the very first class under each heading is like shows what all the skills that fall under those headings. Like for warrior, you've got blade, blunt, hand to hand fall under strength, armorer, heavy armor, and block fall under endurance, and then athletics is under speed. But there's always one of the 7 skills that doesn't fall under your major attributes you're picking. And then for mage, intelligence governs alchemy, which is like potion making, conjuration, which is like summoning either weapons and armor or like creatures, so like undead, like skeletons or whatever, and also mysticism, which is going to be like reflecting spells and damage and stuff like that. And then willpower governs, yeah, and also intelligence is going to like, the higher your intelligence, the higher your max magic. Willpower, the higher your willpower, the higher your magic, or the faster your magic regen. Willpower governs alteration, which is like magical shields and opening locks and stuff. Destruction, so like shooting fire, ice, and lightning, that's going to be super important. And restoration, so like healing, which is going to be super important too. And then for stealth, you've got speed and agility is the main ones. I honestly think, unlike Skyrim, stealth in this game is like kind of dog shit. Like, marksman is great if you're a bow guy. Light armor, obviously, if you're going to be like kind of like a combat-y, like that's going to be super important. Sneak is super important. And the security, mercantile, and speechcraft not really good. Acrobatics kind of good because it gives you like the ability to dodge as like a perk. But I'll just go. And then these are all preset custom classes. I would definitely, well, this is the one I made for myself, which is like kind of a magic combat hybrid. Mage is the only one where all 7 skills are good. So I'll just go custom class. The specialization makes all skills under that heading get a faster leveling and a initial bonus. Even though I'm doing like a combat magic hybrid, I chose magic because all the skills are good, not just like some of them. Yeah, so strength is damage with like all melee weapons except for daggers and short swords. Carrying ability, health. Intelligence, basically just all about max magic. Willpower is also max fatigue and magic regeneration. That's pretty huge, especially for any kind of a hybrid character, whether you're like a magic stealth hybrid or a magic combat hybrid. Agility, again, the most important attribute for stealth. Max fatigue, fatigue regen, mostly fatigue regen, but also damage with daggers, short swords, bows. Speed, important for stealth, but like kind of who cares otherwise. Endurance, huge for warriors or like battle mages. Health and health regen. Personality, yeah, it matters for like selling. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not worth. And then luck can be a good one to do for this. I don't really play a luck-based playstyle, but it slightly modifies everything. So every plus 10 luck gives you a 4-point, like equivalent to a 4-point skill bonus in all skills. And if you pick thief, you get that plus 10 right off the bat. If you pick it here, you get another plus 5. Luck's also something you can only level by 1 each level, unlike anything else. So it's a good thing. It's a good possible way to get a bunch of extra luck early. I don't think it matters. So skills, these are the main things. Oh shit, skills. Okay, so for the magic skills, so alchemy, potion making, it's going to be super awesome for basically any class. Whether you're a warrior who wants to heal yourself or a magic person who probably wants to heal yourself, or a stealth person who wants to poison enemies with your, so you can shoot them with poison arrows and make yourself invisible, whatever. Alchemy rocks. I didn't choose it for this playthrough, but it's certainly worthwhile. Uh, Alteration, that's going to be huge for me for this playstyle, for like magical shielding. Also reducing like carry weight. So stuff's heavy. You can take potions that give you more stuff you can carry. That's huge. Opening locks, that's going to be kind of good. I don't think it's that big of a deal, except for like the really, really highest hard difficulty ones. Conjuration is going to be huge. Summoning creatures, undead, weapons and armor, that's pretty massive. Probably be super relevant to you. Destruction is obviously pretty basic, just like shooting fire, ice, and lightning. Now, the Bretons get a way better bonus to Conjuration off the bat, but they don't actually get a bonus to Destruction. So I think it is really important to choose it as a major skill, so you get that plus 20 bonus. Illusion's governed by personality. It's the only one not governed by intelligence or willpower, but it's really good too, especially if you're going to play kind of like a mage stealth hybrid, because silence is going to be huge, stop people from casting spells at you. Paralyze is super good against anybody in a combat scenario, particularly like against melee fighters who are trying to run up and smack you. And invisibility is crazy good. Charm is great for like buying and selling, and it basically compensates for all like mercantile and speechcraft and shit like that. And then create light's just handy, not have to like have torches in dark caves. Now mysticism is pretty huge. Casting spells, absorb magic, reflect damage. Dispel is pretty huge. That's like canceling out negative spells and shit that you have on you from other people. Telekinesis, not huge in this game, but it can help you like steal stuff or grab stuff out of reach. Life detection, pretty good for like stealth. Soul binding is pretty huge, actually, for like recharging magical gear. And so that's going to be governed by mysticism, so that's pretty huge. Restoration, obviously healing. That's going to be pretty important for a magic character. Also, pretty much a great choice for like any character in general. Like a warrior who has a few skills they don't need on the combat side, always a smart bet. Or let's say even like a stealth person. Also fortifying attributes. That's never going to hurt anyone. And then yeah, for combat, so like armorer, block, heavy armor, going to be super important. And then one of blade, blunt, or hand-to-hand. You don't need the other two. Athletics doesn't matter. Everybody can level athletics fast. And then for stealth, light armor, marksman, and sneak, super important. Mercantile, security, speechcraft, I think a lot less important. They can be compensated by like other magical skills and stuff. And acrobatics might be worth taking, because the dodge perk, which is like the apprentice perk you get at level 25, getting access to that right away is pretty cool. And the sooner you can do a lot of dodging without using a lot of fatigue, which is something that'll be affected by your acrobatic skill, that's kind of cool. Because if you wanted to be like a character who's going to be meleeing or whatever a little bit, and you don't want to take a bunch of hits, that's pretty important. All right, that's it.